Promesas son nada más que solo palabras. Y si no las
So I divided my monthly expense into 5 big categories. First of all, it is rent, transportation, health insurance, food, and finally entertainment. So let's talk about renting. How much do I really spend on renting this whole place every single month? So to be honest, I spend 900 Canadian dollar every single month to rent this place. And as you asked me a question, is this a normal price range in order to rent a place in Vancouver? I would say no. You can rent a place for $500. You can rent a place for $500 or $600, or you can even rent a place for like $2,000. So what I'm trying to do is to find a middle ground. So as an international student, you don't have a car, you have to go to school, probably you have to go to work. You want to rent a place with good location. What I mean by a good location is a place that is close to bus station, which is close to train station, so you don't have to walk like 20 minutes or 30 minutes just to go to school or just to go to work or just to go shopping. So my final advice for renting a place here is I would pay a bit more because believe it or not, renting a place with a good location will make student life much more easier. Imagine you are renting a good price place, but you have to walk like 30 minutes to reach like a train station, and the weather is cold, it's rainy. So pay a bit more and get a good place. That what I would say as a student living here. So finally, I spent 900 Canadian dollar on renting, which include everything, utility, gym. I would say it is not a bad price, and it's equal to $703.88 US dollar. Moving on to my next expense, which is about health insurance. So as an international student here in British Columbia, we are mandatory to pay for health insurance, or what we call MSP, Medical Service Plan. Every single month, I have to pay a fixed amount of 75 Canadian dollar for MSP, which is equal to 59.21 US dollar. Let's talk about my transportation expense. How much do I really spend traveling from one place to another place here? First of all, Vancouver have a very friendly transportation system, which means you can travel to any places without a car. But again, just like what I told you, rent a good place with good location that is close to public transportation, in which it will make your life much more easier. So when I came here in 2020 February, I bought a monthly pass for 56 Canadian dollar because in that time I'm still 18. I'm still considered a minor, so I got a very good discount price for $56. I get unlimited use of public transportation. I can use whatever bus, SkyTrain, Sea Ferry, and no matter how many times I use it, it's still $56 for that 30 days. However, again, in March in 2020, I turned 19, which I'm considered an adult now, and I have to pay a double price, which is $105 for that monthly pass. So I don't think that is an ideal choice. Plus, in March, everything at school in Vancouver are turning into online platform, which means I don't have to go to school anymore. I only have to go to work on the weekend. So I changed my transportation paying method to what we call a one pass payment, I guess. So what it means is I pay when I use it and I don't pay when I don't use it. So on average, I spend about 60 Canadian dollar a month, which is equal to 46.93 Canadian dollar, which is not a bad price at all to pay for transportation here. So the benefit of living here is you don't have to get a car, you don't have to pay for the car insurance, which is ridiculously expensive here, I guess. So it is not bad just to pay 60 bucks for transportation in Vancouver. Let's talk about my grocery expense. Since I moved out in October to a new place, I have to start doing grocery shopping. I have to start cooking and all this independent life stuff. And furthermore, to be honest, I am a lazy person when it comes to cooking or grocery shopping. And that is why I only do grocery shopping once a week, which means I would go to a supermarket and buy the stuff I need for the next 7 days. Compared to other hardworking person, they would probably go and buy grocery 5 or 3 times a week. But again, I am a lazy person. I wouldn't spend that much time doing grocery shopping. And on average, I spend about $40 to $55 Canadian dollar every single week for grocery. Depends on some week I buy more and some week I buy less comparing to what I have left in the fridge, right? So if you ask me, is it expensive to buy food here? I would say no, compared to eating out. Let me give you an idea. If you go to a restaurant and have a good meal, it would cost you about, I guess, $20 to $35, even $40 for one good meal. So if you eat out like twice a week, that is the amount of money that you spend on grocery for your whole 1 week. So eating out here can be a little bit of pricey. So my tip is, if you plan to come here and live alone as a student, at least learn the basic of what we call cooking skill. What I mean by basic cooking skill is, you know how to at least cook rice using a rice cooker, you know how to fry egg, you know how to, I guess, boil egg and cook some vegetables, and that is all you need. And you will eventually learn how to cook better when you come here. So again, on average, I would say I spend about 175 Canadian dollar on grocery shopping, which comes to 136 US dollar, which I would say it is a very good amount of money to spend on grocery shopping when you do cook at home a lot. So my final expense is my entertainment expense. Everyone got their own entertainment stuff to do. Some people like to go out and have a good meal, and some people like to go out and shop for their favorite thing. And I do have my own entertainment thing to do in my free time. So first of all, I do spend money on coffee, on getting a good coffee from a good coffee shop. Just to let you know, I am a very coffee person. I do love coffee a lot. I do drink coffee every morning I wake up. Of course, I'm making my own coffee at home, but sometimes I do want to explore the taste of different types of coffee from good coffee shop, and that's why on average I do get good coffee from different store like 3 times a month, which costs me 16.5 Canadian dollar, in which I honestly don't mind spending this much of money on tasting different types of coffee. And next thing I spend money on is eating out. Again, just like discovering different tastes of coffee, I also like to eat different type of food outside. I love Japanese food, I love Korean food, I love Chinese food. So I do eat out twice a month because, just like I mentioned, eating out here can be a bit pricey. So you always want to limit the time you eat out, so you won't go broke in that sense. And of course, eating out a lot is not healthy. I guess because you don't know what they are putting in there, how do they cook it, are they using a good ingredient or not. So I do eat out twice a month, which I guess is a good amount of time to eat out because I love discovering new type of food, I guess. And that cost me about 40 Canadian dollars a month. And lastly, my favorite entertainment, I do love to drink bubble tea. Every Asian love bubble tea. And I'm Asian, I love bubble tea a lot. So, unlike coffee, I do get bubble tea every single week, once a week, which I consider is a moderate time to drink bubble tea, I guess, even though it is loaded with sugar, starch, which is not very healthy in that case, but I'm trying to get like a 50% sugar, less purple in that sense, so it is not that unhealthy. But I guess it is the joys of life. You do sometimes need to eat some junk food in order to make your life completely fulfilled in that sense. So I spend about 24 Canadian dollars on bubble tea every single month, and plusing all that together, I spend about 80.5 Canadian dollar on entertainment, which is equal to 62.96 US dollar. So let's see how much do I spend in total every single month. First of all, I spend $900 on rent. Secondly, I spend $60 on transportation. Thirdly, I spend $75 on health insurance. Fourthly, I spend $175 on food, grocery shopping. And finally, I spent 80.5 Canadian dollar on entertainment, and that's come to a total of 1,290.5 Canadian dollar, which is equal to $1,009.29 US dollar.
Que solo palabras, y si no las cumples, se van a desvanecer. Algún día volverás, tú al lado mío, y yo de testigo. Vamos 1, 2, 3, sin estrés. Muéstrame esos pasos, te cuento hasta 10 y ven. Yo sé que tú quieres.